Good morning and welcome to another week with me on the road trying to read. This is actually the first week when I'm also going to try to work on the road. So let's see how that turns out because this will most likely determine a lot of my future life. So I'm currently at the Côte d'Azur, close to Marseille, France. What am I going to read this week? I know that I'm going to continue going Gone with the Wind. I'm around 30% into it, and I will continue that. I will continue In the Name of the Wind, which I'm only like 80 pages in. I wanted to finish that quickly, but I totally didn't, so I will continue that. I will be reading Wildland probably the next 2 days, because this is the Once Upon a Book Club book of is it March or April, and I have some presents that I want to open, and I think this might be pretty much it for June. I mean, we only have 2 days in June anyway, so I'm not going to finish everything that I just mentioned in these 2 days because I'm going to be working. But I'm not sure what I'm going to start with in July. I have a few books with me, like Wicked Fox. I'm going to continue reading The Way of the Kings. I want to start The Great Hunt. Nice Try, Jane Sinner, All Crooked Saints, and one more Once Upon a Book Club book, which I cannot remember the name of right now. So plenty of books with me, but I'm not sure what I'm going to start with in a couple of days. So let's get into these three first, and then let's see how this week rolls. So I'm now gonna get ready. I need to brush my teeth, which I'm gonna do in this beautiful setting. It's actually perfect temperature. It's nice and windy, and the shade is really doing well. Look at my sunburn. It's actually a lot worse in the back. Right, so let's brush my teeth and then find a place to work. It's most likely going to end up being McDonald's. I found some nice tips around how to find working space in the future, like go to luxury hotel lobbies, or there's an app for finding nice cafes. But right now I don't want to drive into Marseille. I just want to go and work a little. Maybe I'm going to do this afternoon, who knows. I'm going to be sick and tired of McDonald's pretty quickly, I guess. So let's get ready. So I have to say, working at first at McDonald's, and then for some reason the power went out and they had to close that branch, and then at Burger King was surprisingly good. I loved the background music. It was calm. Nobody bothered me. I had good internet, so that was really good, surprisingly good. So I really enjoyed that. And now it is 8:30 and I still want to go for a little walk so I can explore the area. I've decided that I want to stay potentially a few days in this area because there's so much that I still want to explore. So yeah, there's quite a few areas that I would love to hike in, and this is one of them. So yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. I try to find a trail that only is like 1.5 hours maximum, but shows a little bit of scenery because it's already 8:30. Sun goes down at 9:30, and I'm totally not knowing this area for the first time, being in this national park. I kind of want to be there while it's light. Do you see my sunburn? This is not good. But yeah, so let's walk for an hour and listen to Gone with the Wind. So no camping, no backcountry camping. Me. Let's go see. So I'm done working for the day. I'm right now on my way to some sightseeing, sort of. So what I did previously when I was visiting locations, I would go and research something like most photogenic, most Instagrammable places. And I completely failed to do this time. And I think this is where my lack of excitement for Marseille was at, because I was so involved in all these amazing places that I've seen on the way here that I completely missed all these beautiful places in Marseille to take pictures of. So today last night after work I started looking into most Instagrammable places again, and today right after work I looked at a few things. I wanted to go out for a hike again. Yesterday's hike was some beautiful views, but I hated the hike itself because it was along a road that was used by a lot of people to go to the beach. So I was like, okay, I could have driven to that port down there and had the same experience, maybe even better, because I didn't have to hike along a road where people were driving. It was quite annoying, to be honest. I picked a hike that I wanted to do today, and whilst I was researching most Instagrammable places in this area, I actually came across the hike that I had picked for tonight, which was like, oh, amazing, I have picked the right thing, that's amazing, I'm gonna do that later on, I have enough time, let's go on like a 3-hour hike after work. So I wanted to go out on that hike tonight, and I then found this on the list of some of the most photogenic places in this area. Found this wonderful site, what was it called? The Wandering Lens. This person has some amazing photography tips, locations across the world. So I do want to make sure that whenever I go to a place, I want to check that site first, because what they said is to go to this hike in the morning because of the light. And this is exactly what I had happening yesterday. I started hiking in the evening and everything was in the shadow because the sun was behind the cliffs. And so the sea, I mean, it still looked amazing, but I knew it would look a lot more amazing in the morning sun. So he's advising to do this hike in the morning, and tomorrow I have no work scheduled until quite late in the afternoon. So I thought, well, let's do that hike in the morning and then work late. And so for tonight, I am doing another one of his tips. The lavender fields should be in full bloom still. Probably only a few more days. So he has this map of lavender fields that I'm going to try and visit and see if some of them are still in full bloom and I can take some amazing pictures out in these fields. So let's go there to try and take some nice pictures, then go back to my sleeping place. I think I'm going to pick the same place. It's so calm and serene and I love it because I feel so safe. It's next to a graveyard in the woods. So all the people who are going there are in the morning are joggers, people who are walking the dogs, and it's not a lot of people, and then the occasional person who is tending to a grave. But it's still like in the wooden area close to the cemetery. It's not like I'm camping on a cemetery. Like, I'm not that dark. I was raised living next to a cemetery, so it doesn't feel weird to me. I know that for some people it felt weird when I was growing up. They didn't want to have a sleepover at my house because my room was actually looking onto the cemetery, because I was like, the road I was living in was pretty much called Cemetery Road for a reason. Well, yeah, so I don't feel like it's weird being close to a cemetery. So if you do, I'm sorry, but I'm sleeping close to a cemetery right now, and I feel like it feels very safe. It feels very calm and can rest and sleep with a very calm mind, because I'm not scared that some young people who have had a little bit too much alcohol are going to break a window in my car or try to break in. Let's talk about Gone with the Wind for a moment. I think I mentioned that in last week's video. I feel like this book right now is coming with some disclaimers or something. I've started watching the movie, and there's a big disclaimer saying, yes, this is full of racism. This is Gone with the Wind plays in 1861 to 1860 something, covering the Civil War. It's covering from the southern perspective, where on a what am I even saying? You know what I mean. And we are following this young woman who is extremely spoiled, who has very selfish thought processes, and she has views that are very fitting for the times she was raised in, and at the same time they're kind of revolutionary and kind of pushing the envelope, but not in a way that we would always consider good from our today's perspective. So she, for example, finds the talk about politics boring and doesn't understand why the men are boring her with these unimportant things when she's in love and somebody's about to get married. So it's very clear that for this type of woman, the gossip was way more important than and talk about marriage, talk about livelihood was way more important than talking about a war. So we have a few problematic things in here. We have the problematic picture of a woman and what her duties are and what she's allowed and not allowed to do, and how she needs to portray herself, how she needs to be seen. And then we have the very problematic treatment of African Americans. We are in the height of slavery, fighting for slavery, and obviously how it is portrayed in this book, it feels very historically accurate, but obviously it is far from being politically correct from our today's perspective. It being written in 1936, I also think that it might be glorifying the days of, like, the earlier days with slavery and everything, because it was like the good old times or something. But I think that doesn't make it bad. We have a spoiled person that we're following that is not morally just good or just morally bad. Although I feel like she's leaning on that. She's extremely selfish, but I think that she is more real than most characters who are morally perfect in books. I feel like a lot of authors nowadays are trying to craft these morally amazingly perfect people, and even if like in like villain backstories and villain origin stories, it's usually, or oftentimes sadly, it is, oh, I had a trauma and then I suddenly turned evil. I was a really good person before. I feel like some of the best books for me are when we have a character who is not morally just good, just perfect, but the author is able to craft it in a way that we understand why this person is doing what they're doing, and we understand their motivation. Question of the week is, how do you feel about this? Like, what do you read? What do you prefer to read on like the moral radar? Do you want your main character to be the morally perfect person that you want to strive to be? Do you want the main character to be this evil person who has evil thoughts and you want to understand why they're doing it? Do you want something in between? So what's your poison? Where do you lie on the moral radar in reading preferences, and what is your favorite book that represents that? So really excited to hear your recommendations there. So yes, I think that Scarlett O'Hara is morally more on the evilish selfish, evil, not necessarily evil, but she's very selfish, and she has a lot of tendencies that would today be in a villain character. And the author isn't trying to make it sound nice, make it sound better. That's just how she is, and we're trying to follow her in a way that we try to understand why she's doing it. And I can see people being annoyed with her, but I love it because it feels real, because people usually aren't morally perfect. We might not be as extreme as Scarlett O'Hara, but we're not morally perfect. The other thing that I really enjoy about this book is how blatantly it is historically accurate, and it's not trying really hard to be politically correct. It's not trying to be anything else, but it's also not using it's historically correct as an excuse to promote racism. I feel like a lot of books either try to be preachy about this is not good, or they go exactly the other way and show and use it as an excuse. And I feel like this book is doing neither, which is why I'm loving it as much. So let's talk Wildland, and let's talk Once Upon a Book Club. So the Once Upon a Book Club is a subscription box where you receive a book. They have a young adult version and they have an adult version, and I'm getting the adult version at this point. And inside this box, which is, by the way, one of the most beautifully designed boxes, this is next week's box. Inside this box, you are getting 3 to 4 gifts, and these gifts have page numbers on them, like this one, and like this one. Depending on the worth of the product, you're getting 3 or 4 material products, and sometimes you get a 4th nostalgic product. And what that means is it's usually some sort of paper that the team has printed on to make something from the book come alive. So the book of the month is Wildland. Wildland is following, it says on the back that it's following Kat, the main character, but honestly I feel like there's more than this main character. We have Kat, who is in her early 50s. She has survived breast cancer in the past, but the cancer is back. She's now going up on a mountain to just be with herself, enjoy some solitude, and probably think about what to do. She doesn't want to do a second round of chemo, etc. She already had a mastectomy, and she is now considering what to do. And she just needs some time by herself. She has been given a dog by her daughter Sarah, but yeah, she's now there self-reflecting. I'm actually enjoying it a little bit more than I thought that I would. Anyways, we are at the first gift. I am assuming that we have bracelets in here, which is a cool gift. You can never go wrong with bracelets as a gift. Lily's bracelets. So we have one with, like, I don't know if you can see this, but this is like pinkish glittery. I'll film some close-ups. And then we have 2. I don't know, are you supposed to just wear it like this? Or are you supposed to put it in here? Probably wear it like this, right? And then we have a little arrow. Can't put this on me right now. And this little knot. Alright, so I mean, they're cute. I'm not 100% convinced about the quality of these bracelets, but I think it's cute. So I'm doing my lunch break in this little village. I think it's called Fontaine de Vaucluse or something. This little village is nestled. These cliffs. And then we have these quaint little houses like this and these cliffs. It's an amazing sight. So this is something about a spring, and I'm trying to get more information about it, but it's supposed to be super nice, super photogenic, and it was rather close. So doing my lunch break here because I'm not expecting to spend hours in this little village, and I had to leave my working place again. It just became too noisy and annoying, and needed a little break. So I'm now hunting for some nice pictures. I sadly took a day without sunshine, so there's probably not nice sun rays hitting the water, but I'm hoping to still get some nice pictures in. And then I think I'm gonna make my way back south, direction of Marseille today. So welcome to my evening setup. I have hit page 169. This book is really getting to me in a positive way. It's like I can't stop reading right now. I couldn't read much throughout the day because I was working and then sightseeing. But I can't put it down right now. So let's see how much further I'm still gonna read. The next gift is at 262, so 100 pages further in. And then this felt like straw, so I was thinking this potentially could be a hat. I hope the hat is nice and I'm going to like it and I can use it. Oh, this is actually... Ah, look at this. I'm reading. I love it. But how am I supposed to wear this so that you can read the writing? I love this hat. I made it to 262. And we're talking about a bag. Wow, look at this. This actually looks really cool. So it is a backpack with room for a water bottle, I think. Here's a small water bottle, and that fits. And this must be for like USB. And then this is the front. It says Once Upon a Book Club here. This is cool. This feels like really, really decent quality. I am absolutely stoked about this. Just a simple front bag and a simple bag. Put your laptop and then a cable so I can put my power bank somewhere. I think this box was absolutely worth it. So let's get this done and then go to sleep. So I just got ready to go to work. I just wanted to show you this beautiful area that I spent the night at. Seems to be a wonderful hiking area, but I ain't no time for hiking. I got no time for hiking. find this little place where I can get to a river to clean up and potentially see the river, Lavender, because whenever I stopped by it looked super beautiful. And I've been using this app to find places to stay, and it pretty much said that this is just off the road and a nice picnic place or something, but honestly this took me so far off the road, it's not even funny. Let's see if I've heard kids, but let's see if this is actually something beautiful. So I think there's water behind these hills, but this little pond over there with a family in the back is not it. That really is not it. So I have spent such a long time looking for the right gas cartridge for my little stove, that it has gotten too late to go for the hike. It's actually over there where I want to hike down to like a small beach in like one of the coves or something. But they're pretty much saying you need to do this in the morning to have the right light. And it's already really late. So I just filmed my TBR in this wonderful location, and I didn't want to spoil it on the TBR because they haven't watched me unbox the Once Upon a Book Club box yet. But everything that I just showed on my TBR fit in the backpack from the Once Upon a Book Club. Everything. Like, look at this. It's insane how many books you can get into this. And there's still room for more. With my phone and everything, car keys, everything's in there, and I am so impressed. So I was getting way too hot on this stone and super uncomfortable, so I picked up and headed into town. I am still short a visit into Marseille, some sightseeing in Marseille, so I thought let's just do that today and take that off the box, and then that means we can go out on a hike tomorrow and then move on along the coastline to new areas. So let's explore Marseille. This cathedral reminds me a lot of Florence. I don't know if it's the type of the way it's built or because of the coloring. It doesn't come close to it really, but it reminds me of it, if that makes sense. Going to be an interesting day. I thought I was going to a hiking parking lot, and I would be with hikers and people walking the dogs and stuff. I know it's Sunday, but in the past 2 weeks I have not seen people come to the beach before like 11. Well, they started coming between 10 and 11. So when I was going to the parking lot at 9:30, I was quite confident that I would get a good spot, and I it's not going to be too busy, but the parking lot that I wanted to go to, the street pretty much was just closed off, and the parking lot that I was diverted to also doubles up for 2 beaches. So it was super busy. I paid €8 for the day parking, which is €8 more than I thought for a hiking parking lot. And it's so busy. There's like so many people. Way too many people. I hope I will get some solitude soon. So when I stopped, I bought some nectarines and peaches and a melon from a farmer by the road, exactly where I set up camp. And when the farmer put down his tent, he was like, do you want to come to the farm and stay there in the field, because it will be a lot quieter. So now I'm in the fields. I have bamboo, like huge bamboo fields and stuff, and the farmer just came by to say goodnight, and he brought me 2 huge ass tomatoes. Look at this. He just got them right now from the field and he brought them to me. His fruit don't look the prettiest or look the biggest, but what I ate was amazing. It's all bio, so it doesn't look pretty. I need to get a slice of tomato. I got some cucumbers from him. I bought some cucumbers, but I think it was so lovely for him to bring me these 2 huge tomatoes. Look at this, how huge they are. So before I go to sleep, I will have a slice of tomato, and then let's read a little bit and go to sleep.